Today I will be doing a 4-layer ocean cake. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to go ahead and first off put some buttercream on my cake board, just like that. And these are just 6-inch cakes that I baked just earlier today. And I'm going to go ahead and just do a little bit of buttercream jam on here. I don't want it to be too much because I'm not going to put too much filling in here. And this is just a white chocolate ganache that I have on here. It's a little bit runny, but it's okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my next layer on upside down. And then do another dam on here. And this is basically just so that my filling doesn't come out from my sides. And that way I know that my filling will just stay inside my cakes. Okay, so my next layer with another dam on here. And then the rest of my filling. And if it's not straight or anything, we can go ahead and try and make it even. So this is what it looks like so far. I'm just pressing down on it and trying to get as much air bubbles as I can out of the cake. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and just fill in the sides. And then I will start to frost my cake. And I'm just filling in where it needs to be filled out at. So I'm not doing the whole thing. So whatever gaps I see, I can go ahead and just fill it in. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and with my buttercream just do a light crumb coat. And this just seals in any crumbs since I did cut into my cake, so that when I do my final frosting, I don't have a lot of crumbs on it. So hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'm just pushing in against my cake so that I don't have any gaps or any holes or air bubbles. So my crumb coat looks about done here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just put this in the fridge so that my frosting will have time to set. So that way when I go back to do my final layer of frosting, it won't be as messy. And so we don't really care if this is as perfect or not. So I'm just going to go ahead and just clean out the top here and then put this in the fridge and then show you what it looks like. Okay, so while my cake is in the freezer, I'm just going to go ahead and do some starfish. And I have one over here ready already. So all I'm doing is I have a little piece of fondant, and this is just marshmallow fondant. And I'm just going to go ahead and just roll it up into a ball. I don't have any of the special tools or anything for fondant or anything like that, so whatever I want to do, I just try to figure out how to do that as I go along. And so I have it into a ball right here right now, and all I'm doing is I'm just squeezing out the edges just like this, and this is just to make the 5 points of my starfish, just like that. So if you can see, it's starting to take its shape, and I'm just doing this all around until I get the shape that I want. So basically I can make this as big or as little, as fat or as skinny as I want. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and maybe just keep it like this for now. And then I bring it over here on a flat surface, and then I just flatten down the edges of my starfish so that way it's not sticking out or anything like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just flatten out all my corners here. And then I just take the back of a toothpick, and all I do is I just poke little holes for the textures of my starfish. And I just do this all around until I get what I am looking for out of a starfish. So I'm gonna be putting some starfish and some seashells on this ocean cake. This seashells is going to be almost just the exact same thing. So all I'm doing is I'm just taking a little bit of fondant, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and just smooth it out and then just roll it into a ball. And then this is actually, I'm gonna flatten it out just a little bit. And then I'm gonna make this into almost like a, I don't know, it's like a teardrop shape. And then I just flatten it out like that. And then all I'm doing is the back of my toothpick still, I'm gonna go ahead and mark the edges of my seashell while I'm coming across here still. Going this way, I'm gonna go ahead and just mark just like that, and then I have a little seashell. And I'm just gonna do this in white and light brown, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just repeat the process until I get the amount of seashells and starfish that I want. So I'll show you in a little bit when I'm done. Okay, so I finished with my marshmallow fondant with the starfish and seashells. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and bring out my cake and then finish frosting it. Okay, so my cake has been chilling in the freezer for me about 10-15 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the final coat. And this is just sky blue color gel from Wilton. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try and cover all my sides of my cake here. So hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm just pressing down against my cake and making sure that it goes all the way to the bottom. Just like this. And I'm not really looking for a lot of frosting on my cake. So as little as I can on the cake is what I'm looking for without having my crumb coat show. So just like this. And I'm just going back, if I do see any of my cake showing, then I'll just go back with just a little bit of extra buttercream to cover it. just like this. And so if you can see, I'm just smoothing it out now. What I might do is I might go ahead and just try and smooth it out just a little bit more with some hot water on my spatula. Just to try and smooth it out, and then I will be piping on a border too. So let me go ahead and finish this off and then show you what it looks like. Okay, so I have a cup of hot water and I'm basically just dipping my spatula in with the hot water, and I'm just going around smoothing out my cake just so I get smooth sides. And I usually do this when I want really smooth sides on my cake, and so this just helps out with any of the rough edges. And so let me just go ahead and just finish this off and then show you what it looks like in a little bit. Okay, so now that I have my cake frosted and completed, I'm gonna go in and do some decorations. So here I have buttercream, and it's just filled with the Wilton 352 tip. It's the leaf tip. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just start from the bottom and just squeeze and pull, release. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. Just like this, all around my cake. And I'm not really looking for anything perfect, but I'm just gonna go ahead and just do this all around my cake. Some tall ones, some skinny ones, short ones, so not looking for anything. Okay. Maybe just one more right here. Okay, so just like that. And then I have here some more buttercream that I have filled with the open star tip. I'm not sure what type tip this is, but I'm just gonna go ahead and just do some shell borders on my cake so it looks like waves. And I'm not looking for anything perfect again, but I am making sure that my bottom is filled. So just like this. Okay, so that's what my cake looks like so far. Okay, so now with the same color buttercream, I just have it switched out to a small circle tip, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just pipe on little bubbles in here. And it could be any size. I'm not really looking for anything that's different or anything, or perfect. So just like that. So let me just go ahead and go all the way around my cake and then show you what it looks like so far. Okay, so now that I have my cake all decorated, I'm just gonna go ahead and just finish it off with some of my fondant. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just stick some of these little starfish and seashells on. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just decorate it like that with some seashells. And then I'm gonna go ahead and come over here. Just like that. And then I have some of my starfish that I basically just stuck a toothpick in. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just stick it on my cake on top. Once I find out where my front is going to be. So I think this will be my front. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stick these onto my cake, just like that. And then I have another one that I will just go ahead and stick on, just like that. And then got some more here. And if I want to, I can go ahead and just stick these onto the cake, just for more decorations. And so basically, I'm just going around and covering the whole thing. I'll put this one up here. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and just finish it off with maybe just some waves on top of my cake, and then I'll show you what it looks like in a little bit. Okay, so this is what my cake looks like. And so I just add a little bit of waves on top of my seashells and stars, but I couldn't really think of anything else to put on my cake. But this is what it looks like, the front and the back. And so hopefully you guys like my tutorial. I actually had fun making this cake. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you guys like it. If you guys have any comments, just go ahead and leave it down below. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.